Utah law enforcers find themselves in the middle of the debate on immigration. Tonight, it's their role and perspective we're exploring through KSL series Immigration 2025, The Dream Divided.
Daniela Rivera is on the road in Moab with more on law enforcement and the Utah Compact.
The Utah Compact says local law enforcement resources should focus on criminal activity, not civil violations of federal code. We asked Moab police if that guiding principle still rings true for them today.
Go, go, go.
No grass or team colors.
Come on, little ones.
But don't let this game on wood chips and dirt fool you.
Those are sandlot rules.
The competitors? Kids who spend time at Moab's Multicultural Center. And local police officers.
It's small. It's neighborly. You've got everyone knows everybody.
Police Chief Lex Bell says it was staff at the center who told him how changes to federal immigration policy were making some people feel.
We get people coming in and asking questions or, expressing that they are afraid.
So it kind of broke my heart to hear that they were afraid now, or that anyone was afraid to call us for help.
In the tight-knit tourist town that welcomes visitors from all over the world, Bell says fear of contacting or cooperating with police hurts everyone's safety.
If we don't have people willing to be witnesses, then there are going to be some really bad people that get away with some bad things.
That's why Bell says he put out a statement in February, as did many Utah law enforcement agencies, letting folks know that his department is focused on the safety of all community members.
It was very reassuring, yeah.
Reaction online was mixed.
Were you surprised by the negative feedback?
I actually was.
Signaling a split among Utahns, one reflected in a recent poll for Deseret News. 48% of Utahns say undocumented immigration makes them less safe. 31% say it has no impact.
Fear that undocumented people are responsible for a disproportionate percentage of crime in our communities is a factor driving conversations around immigration policy. But what do the numbers actually show? That's complicated. Research often relies on incarceration records because that's where a person's legal status is recorded.
Undocumented immigrants make up 5% of Utah's prison population, and that's consistent with what KSL reported back in 2010. So how does that compare to the state's population? Well, it's hard to say exactly, but the Center for Migration Studies estimated about 100,000 undocumented immigrants called Utah home in 2022, which is about 3% of the state's population.
I don't believe it's ever a question I've asked anyone.
In the day-to-day work of policing Moab, Sergeant Monty Reisenhoover says immigration status isn't his focus.
It's not really relevant in the moment.
And that's consistent with the Utah Compact's guidance to focus on criminal, not civil violations. But not everyone in Utah agrees with that approach. Asked whether Utah law enforcement should help deport immigrants whose only infraction was crossing the border without documentation, 56% said yes.
We're not federal law enforcement, so we don't enforce federal law.
This year, the legislature passed a law requiring sheriffs to report undocumented immigrants serving time to ICE.
It's critical that we're cracking down on crime.
We do try to do some outreach.
We asked Kane County Sheriff Tracy Glover whether the new law makes Utahns safer.
In Kane County, it literally won't change anything.
As president of Utah's Sheriff's Association, Glover has talked to sheriffs across the state about jail operations. He says notifying federal authorities is already common practice.
I've not found a jail that hasn't been making notifications.
But that doesn't mean they're looking for immigration violations.
I don't want people to think we're out doing sweeps or roundups or those kind of things. That's not really our job.
But one sheriff's department is making immigration enforcement a bigger part of their job. Washington County told us they're partnering with ICE to identify undocumented people in their jail and joining with ICE for a task force. Utah is dotted with towns and cities where law enforcers must balance their official duties with maintaining the community's trust.
The political environment is what it is. We can't affect that too much. We need to be as steady as we can be.
Steady and focused on the mission of public safety for all.
There's no room for people to be afraid to contact us for help.
We reached out to ICE for this report but did not hear back. In addition to upholding the rule of law, the Utah Compact supports policies that don't unnecessarily separate families. Tomorrow at 10, KSL explores that complicated balance. Mike and Deanie,
All right, Daniela, thank you. And this is the third report in KSL's Immigration 2025, the Dream Divided series. And if you would like to catch up, you can scan this QR code and it'll take you to the previous stories on our YouTube page.
You'll also find all of our original coverage of this issue in 2010 when the Utah Compact was created.